welcome to the Deep Sleep channel. I'm so glad you're here tonight. Settling in, getting comfortable, letting the world around you fade away. Tonight, we're going to take you on a different kind of journey than we usually do. We're not going back into the past tonight. Tonight, we're going forward, far forward. We're traveling 10,000 years into the future. Close your eyes if you like, or let them rest half closed, soft and unfocused. Imagine yourself waking up in a world you've never seen. A world where everything is different, a world where humanity has transformed, where nature and technology have merged, where the very definition of life has expanded beyond what we thought possible. This isn't abstract speculation. This is a lived world. A world with details, a world with people living in it, loving in it, creating in it, a world that feels real. So settle in, let yourself drift, and let us show you a glimpse of what life might look like when 10,000 years have passed and humanity has become something entirely new while remaining, in the deepest ways, entirely itself. The morning. Waking in the future. Imagine yourself opening your eyes. You're lying in a bed made of living material, soft, organic, responsive. The mattress adjusts to your body's contours automatically, having learned your preferred firmness over months. The sheets are woven from tech-enhanced fibers that regulate your temperature perfectly, keeping you neither too warm nor too cold. Around you, your bedroom is quiet, peaceful. The walls are a soft, bioluminescent green, living panels of genetically modified moss that glow gently to mark the transition from night to morning. They're not harsh, they're not bright. They're just there, like a soft dawn that gradually brightens as morning comes. On your nightstand sits a small potted plant. It's beautiful, delicate flowers, silvery leaves with faint circuit-like patterns visible if you look closely. But mostly, it just looks like a lovely flower. This is your personal AI companion, not a device, not a phone, a living plant that's also your connection to the world. As your eyes open, the plant's flowers bloom slightly brighter, a greeting, good morning. It's done this every morning for the 3 years you've owned it, and it never gets old. There's something about being greeted by a living thing, something that chooses to respond to your presence. You sit up slowly, your body feels good. You're 187 years old, but you don't look a day over 35. The combination of genetic treatments, nanomedicine, and careful biological maintenance means that aging, as previous generations knew it, is something that happens to other people. You could look older if you wanted to. Some people do, choosing to age gracefully through natural processes. But you haven't. Why would you? The plant on your nightstand glows more brightly now, and you know, without words, just by the pattern of its blooming, that there are messages waiting. 3 from loved ones across the solar system. 1 notification from your work collective, 1 from a stranger who's viewed your art. You reach out and gently touch the plant's leaves. Immediately the information flows into your consciousness, not like reading, not like hearing, more like remembering. The messages are suddenly just known to you, integrated into your awareness as if they'd always been there. It's the neural interface embedded in your fingertips and the mycelial network in your nervous system working together. Tech plants connected to the fungal networks that connect to your own biological enhancements, all seamless, all natural after a lifetime of living this way. 1 message is from your partner, who's currently on Mars. They've sent you a sensory package, not just words, but the feeling of Martian dust under their feet, the color of the sky there, butterscotch and rose, the taste of food they just synthesized. It's a moment of their life, transmitted across 225 million kilometers of space, arriving in your consciousness as if you were there with them. Intimacy across impossible distance. Another is from your child. Not biological, you haven't had a biological child in over 100 years. This is a consciousness clone, a version of yourself from 150 years ago, raised in a different culture, on a different planet, with different experiences, and yet fundamentally still a version of you. They're excited about something. Their excitement is genuine, their perspective foreign enough to be interesting, even though you're literally the same person at the base level. The strangeness of identity in this era. You stand and move toward your window. Your bedroom is high up in the tower garden, maybe 300 meters above the city. The view is breathtaking, as it always is. The city stretches out before you in the morning light, but it's unlike any city from your distant past. There are no buildings in the traditional sense. What you see instead are living structures, towers that are actually vast trees, their trunks thick as buildings, their branches spreading out like neighborhoods. Between these trees, vines and interconnected vegetation create webs and pathways. Everything glows softly with bioluminescence, not bright enough to be harsh, but enough to show the structure of the place. Flying vehicles drift through the air silently. They're not like the planes or helicopters of the past. These are organic-looking craft, sleek and curved, almost like fish or birds. Some are purely technological, others are partially grown, a blend of biological material and advanced materials that didn't exist 10,000 years ago. They move with impossible grace, navigating through the vertical garden city without disturbing the plants. Closer to your window, you can see the tech gardens that surround the building. These are the city's circulatory system, you think, the living infrastructure. Vines climb up the sides of the tower, and embedded within them are circuits of light, data flowing through biological conduits. Flowers bloom in patterns that, if you looked at them through a data interface, would show you the information they're transmitting. Gardens of food grow everywhere, fruit trees producing genetically optimized nutrition, fungal networks spreading through the soil, connecting everything to everything else. Your pet stirs. It's resting on a perch by the window, a creature that's difficult to describe using old categories. It looks vaguely dragon-like, quadrupedal, with a long tail, wings folded against its back, but it's also partly artificial. Parts of it shimmer with a subtle technological gleam, parts of it are covered in soft moss-like material. Its eyes glow faintly with an inner light. It's about the size of a large dog, but its intelligence is higher than any animal from your distant past. It's been genetically uplifted, enhanced with a biological AI core, and grown in such a way that it's as much companion as it is pet. It stretches, and you feel its contentment. There's a link between you two, not telepathic exactly, but close, a sharing of emotional state. When it's happy, you know it. When it's curious, you feel it. It's been part of your life for 15 years, and you can't imagine existence without it. Come, you say softly, and the creature hops down from its perch, moving to your side. You stroke its head, and its purr is like a low vibration, almost musical. Some part of it is literally musical. There are structures in its body that produce harmonic frequencies when it's content. Together, you look out at the city waking up breakfast. The technology of sustenance. Your kitchen is one of your favorite places in your home. It's small, really. You live simply, preferring space to things. But this space is alive in ways previous generations would have found miraculous. One wall is entirely a tech garden. It's a vertical panel of soil and vegetation, maybe 3 meters wide and 2 meters tall. Growing from this wall are fruits, vegetables, herbs, and more specialized plants that produce specific proteins, B vitamins, medicines. The plants are responsive. When you approach, they seem to recognize you. Some flowers bloom brighter, some fruits glow softly to indicate ripeness. You walk over and think about what you want for breakfast. Not consciously plan it, that's too slow, too deliberate. You just want. And the plants respond. A vine extends toward you, and at its tip, a fruit has already begun to develop. You watch as it swells and ripens in real time, molecules assembling themselves according to genetic instructions that have been optimized over centuries. In about 30 seconds, it's fully grown, and at perfect ripeness, you pick it, and the vine retracts. The plants are efficient. They don't waste energy or resources. You bite into the fruit. It tastes like, well, like the perfect version of what a fruit should taste like. Sweet, but not cloying. Juicy, nutritionally complete. This one fruit contains proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals, everything your body needs for the morning. You could eat just this and be perfectly nourished, or you could eat more for pleasure. Next to the fruit wall is another wall. This one produces drinks. You think about what you want, something cool, refreshing, energizing but not overstimulating. A flower blooms, and beneath it a small accumulation of liquid forms. You cup your hand and catch the drink. It's cool against your palm. You drink, and the taste is like morning itself, like the memory of waking up. Some of these plants are designed to produce novel flavors, things that don't exist in nature. This one was created by an artist 500 years ago, and you've chosen to keep growing it in your garden. Your pet eats from a different area, a small section of the wall where protein-rich fungi grow. They have a completely different nutritional need than you do, and the wall has adapted to produce what your companion requires. The creature eats with obvious contentment, and you feel its pleasure. These small moments of care, the knowledge that you're both being sustained by the same living system, feels like love. You sit at a small table, looking out another window toward the morning city. Around you, the kitchen walls pulse softly with bioluminescence. If you look closely, you can see data flowing through the plant structures, information about nutrient content, growth progress, water levels. The tech plants are managing themselves, reporting to the building's systems which report to the city's systems. All interconnected, all seamless. As you eat, you think about the past. Specifically, you think about eating. You've learned about it from historical records. In the early days of human civilization, people spent enormous amounts of time and resources acquiring food, hunting it, growing it, preparing it, cooking, cleaning up, hours every day. Then, as technology advanced, some of that burden eased, but never entirely. People still worried about nutrition, still had to plan meals, still spent time on food. Now you think food is just there. Whenever you need it, perfectly nutritious, perfectly delicious. Your body has never been malnourished. No one in your society has. The basic problem of sustenance, something that plagued humanity for its entire existence, has been solved. And not by taking away pleasure or choice. The plants produce an enormous variety. You could eat differently every meal for 1,000 years and never repeat. It's one of those things that's easy to take for granted, you think. How much human suffering was caused by hunger, how much time and energy was spent on survival, and now survival is assured. Food is abundant, medicine is perfect. You think about life expectancy, the question of time, living in the long view. Your grandmother is 3,200 years old. Well, not your biological grandmother, those relationships are complicated now, but the person who raised you, who you think of as grandmother, is 3,200 years old. She was born over 3,000 years ago, which means she lived through the transition from the old world into this one. She remembers when medicine wasn't perfect, when people still aged visibly, when death was inevitable and unpredictable. She's told you stories. She says that the first few centuries of extended life were the strangest. People had to completely reorganize their thinking about existence. You couldn't make plans for 5 years anymore, because 5 years was nothing. A career that lasted 50 years, meaningless. A relationship that lasted 100 years, a brief romance. The average human lifespan in this era, if you can call it an average, is about 8,000 years. Some people live much longer, some choose not to. It's complicated. The longest lived human is about 4.2 million years old, but they're not quite human anymore, not in the way you'd recognize. They're a consciousness uploaded to digital substrate, backed up constantly, living in virtual spaces most of the time. They occasionally inhabit cloned bodies or robotic forms for physical experiences, but they've transcended biological limitations so completely that they're almost a different species. Your own grandmother chose to stay primarily biological. She does have cyborg enhancements. Her organs have all been replaced with better versions at least once. Her nervous system has been upgraded. Her bones have been reinforced. But she still lives in a body. She still eats real food. She still finds value in physical experience. She's told you that the hardest part of extended life isn't the time itself, it's the meaning. How do you maintain purpose when you have thousands of years? How do you care about things when everything you do could be undone, rethought, restarted? The answer, she says, is to stop thinking about the future so much. Stop planning for permanence. Instead, live in cycles. Dedicate 500 years to something. Get really good at it. Explore it completely. Then, when those 500 years are done, move on. Learn something else. Try a different version of yourself. With 8,000 years of potential life, you can be 1,000 different people. A musician for 400 years, a scientist for 400 years, an artist for 400 years, an explorer, a teacher, a lover, a wanderer. Some people choose differently. Some people upload their consciousness to digital form and live vastly longer. Some people choose to age naturally, deliberately accepting a lifespan of a few hundred years just to keep things simple. Some people choose to be reset their consciousness backed up, then restored to a young body with memories wiped of the past 1,000 years, so they can live fresh again. It's like reincarnation, but with consent and knowledge. Death is possible, but rare. You have to choose it, or you have to be in a catastrophic accident that destroys all your backups, or you have to be killed in a way that prevents resurrection. These things happen sometimes, but they're exceptions in a world of billions of humans. The question of mortality is not a burden in your era, you think. It's a freedom. You don't have to worry about dying young. You can do things. You can fail at them and try again. You can spend 50 years learning a skill that would have been impossible in the past due to time constraints. You can have relationships measured in centuries. You can grow and change without the pressure of limited time pushing you to hurry. But you also can't hide from your choices. You can't pretend that something doesn't matter because you'll be dead soon anyway. With centuries of potential future, your choices echo forward. They matter. You finish your breakfast and clean up. The waste is minimal. You compost everything, and the tech plants convert it back into nutrients. Nothing is wasted in your home. Everything cycles, creating beauty in the future. The studio is a shared space, but it's not far from your home. You step out of your tower garden and ultimately pleasing to look in the society, right on requires of G, or keep in communication. Very You're on the French, yes, and does it any life-working well, you can even quite agree, appreciate, but not there, get it. But I can do it, right? There's all in, yes. There's all, look, man, got like the glistens it up, cold, you better to go cold. It's more now, but that's all. Now review, we tell. Now, but going up. Over here, we get a little full rate. Also, systems we inside again off. Fit with a thought. That. For that, it is. Don't really make my fault. If ever this you self appear as you've chosen to appear, your baseline human form, but with bioluminescent patterns flowing through your skin, marking you as part of the network. You discuss the garden. You share visions of what it should feel like. You make adjustments. The virtual plants in the shared space shift and change as you talk, responding to your intentions. Vines grow in new patterns. Flowers bloom in new configurations. Technology and art merging seamlessly. Hours pass, or maybe minutes. Time is different in these shared spaces. You can adjust your perception of it. You could spend what feels like a day in here while only an hour passes in physical reality, or vice versa. The usual constraints of temporal experience are options, not rules. When the meeting is done, you return to your body, still sitting in the studio. Your collaborators' consciousness withdraw from the shared space and return to their own locations. You feel the slight disorientation that always comes with this transition, the reminder that you're not actually in a room with them, that they're far away, that what you just experienced was generated by technology. But you don't feel sad about it. Loneliness isn't really possible in this era, not in the way it used to be. You're always connected, always able to reach out, always able to share experiences. The isolation that plagued previous generations is solved. The tech plants around your workspace respond to your thoughts as you sit, reflecting on the work. They glow brighter, showing you information about your creation, how many people have viewed it, what they felt, how it changed them. This feedback is immediate, constant, beautiful. Midday. Communication and connection. Your plant companion from home sends you a message. It comes through as a gentle bloom of light in your visual field, the neural implants at the base of your skull translating plant language into human perceivable information. Your partner on Mars wants to share something. You step into a private communication pod, a small chamber lined with bioluminescent moss, completely comfortable and private. You sit and close your eyes. Immediately, your consciousness extends across space. Not your body, that stays in the pod, but your awareness, your sense of presence travels. The sensation is like being in two places at once, but also like being transported. You open your eyes and you're somewhere else, somewhere that's simultaneously a virtual space and not. Your partner is there, and their presence feels completely real. They've brought something to show you, a moment they recorded. They play it directly into your consciousness, and you experience it as if you were there with them. You're on Mars. You feel the gravity, lower than Earth, lighter. You feel the cold, though it's not actually cold. The sensation is being simulated based on Mars's atmospheric conditions. You see the sky, butterscotch and rose, exactly as they described, but it's so much richer in person. The way the light hits the landscape, the texture of the regolith under your feet, the alien beauty of this world that has been slowly, painstakingly terraformed over thousands of years. Your partner shows you a new section of forest they've been cultivating. Trees that are adapted to Mars, but also enhanced with technology that helps them thrive in the thin atmosphere. The trees glow softly, and around them the Martian dust is beginning to transform. Where there were once grey wastelands, there are now hints of green, hints of life, hints of a future where Mars might be as alive as Earth. In 1,000 years, this will be a forest, your partner thinks. They don't speak aloud, they think directly to you. And in 10,000, maybe a city, maybe people will be born here who think of Mars as home. You experience their joy. It's not just happiness, it's deeper. It's the satisfaction of working on a project so vast that you'll never see it completed, of contributing to something that will outlast you by millennia, of making the universe more alive, more beautiful. You think about your partner, this person you've been with for 140 years. In previous eras, that was 3 lifetimes. The idea of commitment was measured in decades, but for you, it's not even a significant portion of a relationship. You might be together for another 500 years, or 1,000, or forever. There's no pressure to decide. There's just time, space, freedom to choose, over and over again, to be with this person. The communication ends, and you return to your body. The transition is jarring, as always, but you've done it thousands of times. Your body is still in the pod. Mars is still 225 million kilometers away, but you just experienced being there. Technology has made distance almost irrelevant. The city. Afternoon exploration. You decide to take the afternoon off. Not that time off has much meaning in your world. You don't have a job that requires a certain number of hours. You simply chose to spend less time in the studio today and more time exploring. You exit the tower garden and decide to navigate the city on foot. The pathways are vines and living material, soft under your feet. Above you, vehicles drift silently. Around you, the city is alive in every literal sense. The buildings are growing things, the infrastructure is biological, the tech plants that make everything work are visible everywhere if you know where to look. You walk through a marketplace, not a place to buy things in the old sense, but a place to exchange, to share, to experience. There's food being offered, grown in real time for your preferences. There's art installations, some permanent, some ephemeral. There's a section where designers are showcasing new tech plants they've genetically developed. One catches your eye. It's a plant designed to generate music. The genetic engineers have structured its growth so that wind moving through it creates harmonic frequencies. It's not just pleasant by accident, it's been deliberately shaped to produce beautiful sounds. You stop and listen to it for a while, and you feel the sadness and joy mixing together in the music. It's grieving something, you realize, or celebrating something lost. Further on, you see a group of people gathered around something. You approach and realize they're watching an uplifted species, creatures that were once just animals but have been genetically enhanced to human-level intelligence. They're demonstrating their new language, showing how they communicate with each other and with humans. It's intricate, involving color changes on their skin and harmonic vibrations. You watch for a while, fascinated by the way consciousness can be encoded in different substrates. These beings think differently than you, their priorities and perceptions shifted by their different biology, yet they're people, citizens, part of your civilization. Your pet enjoys the marketplace too. It plays with some robot companions. Some people prefer robotic pets to biological ones and chases a few flying drones that are delivering packages. You let it do what it wants. It's happy and you feel its happiness, and that's enough. As afternoon progresses toward evening, you find yourself on a high platform overlooking the city. You sit and look out at the expanse of living architecture, the vines and trees and tech plants glowing softly as the sunlight changes, the vehicles moving gracefully through the vertical spaces, the other people walking, flying, existing. You think about what your species has become. You think about your grandmother, born in an era when death was inevitable. You think about the long view of time, not as burden, but as freedom. You think about how you've solved the problems that plagued humanity for all of existence, how hunger is gone, how disease is gone, how death is a choice. And you also think about what was lost. You think about the finiteness that gave meaning to things. You think about how people had to be serious about their choices because time ran out. You think about how now you could start over infinitely. Do you still learn? Do you still grow? You don't have an answer. Your civilization is still young, relatively speaking. These questions are still being asked. Some people say that extended life has made humans more creative, more thoughtful, more connected. Others worry that it's made them complacent, scattered, unable to focus. You think both might be true. Evening, the deeper technology. As evening falls, you decide to go to a deeper layer of the city. Most of the beautiful visible structures, the towers, the gardens, the living architecture, are just the surface. Below them, kilometers down, are the systems that make everything work. You enter a descending platform, a living elevator made of vine material that responds to your thought command. Down, you think, and it begins to sink. Your pet rides on your shoulder as you descend, and you feel it becoming nervous. The depths don't appeal to it. It's a surface creature by nature. As you go down, the bioluminescence changes. The soft greens and blues of the surface give way to deeper, more alien colors. Purples, deep reds, colors that don't occur naturally on Earth, the result of genetic engineering designed to be useful at depth. Eventually, you reach the deep gardens, the massive fungal networks that form the true infrastructure of your civilization. This is where the processing happens, where thought becomes action, where the civilization's consciousness, in a very real sense, lives. The fungal networks are visible as vast, mycelial strands, threads the thickness of cables running through everything. They're threaded through every building, every structure, every piece of infrastructure. They're in the city's soil, connecting to the plants above. They're in your own nervous system, merged with your biological neurology to create hybrid consciousness. Walking here feels different. Your connection to the network becomes stronger, more direct. You can sense the data flowing through the fungal infrastructure. You can feel thousands of consciousnesses, all connected, all part of a distributed system. You're still individual. You still have privacy, but you're also part of something larger, part of a collective consciousness that isn't conscious in the way you usually think of it, but is something more like a shared awareness space. Some people spend most of their time down here, in virtual spaces generated by the fungal processing power. Some people have uploaded their consciousnesses entirely, existing only in the digital realm. You can see them sometimes, their presence in the network manifesting as points of light, patterns of activity. They're people too, just people living in a different medium. You walk through the gardens for a while, feeling the vast complexity of the systems. Somewhere in here, your art is being experienced. Somewhere in here, your grandmother is living her 3,200-year-old life. Somewhere in here, signals are being transmitted to Mars and the outer planets, maintaining the connection with your species spread across the solar system and beyond. Your pet is definitely uncomfortable here, so you ascend back to the surface. It immediately feels better, and you feel its relief. Evening, home and reflection. As night falls, true night, since the bioluminescence dims in evening, you return home. The vine platforms glow faintly to show the pathways, but the intensity is much lower. It's peaceful, restful. Your home welcomes you. The tech plants in the walls bloom slightly brighter. The air conditioning adjusts. Your plant companion senses your return and opens fully, flowers blooming. It's been anticipating you, has probably been receiving messages for you to deliver when you arrive. You sit with it and absorb the information. Messages from loved ones across the solar system, news from the wider civilization, updates on your art project, patterns in the data that the plants have noticed and thought you'd find interesting. One message, encrypted, from your grandmother. She's thinking about you, wondering how your day was, inviting you to visit her on the station where she's been living. It's only a few days away via Wormhole Gate. You think you might go. You prepare for sleep. Your bedroom is already waiting. The sheets have been warmed to your preferred temperature. The bioluminescence has dimmed to a level that encourages sleep. Your pet curls up on its sleeping pod, a specially designed nook where it feels safe and secure. Before you sleep, you activate a backup of your consciousness. It's something you do every day, a precaution against the extremely unlikely event of something catastrophic happening. Your latest thoughts, your memories, your personality, all of it is copied to the fungal network's backup systems. If something happened to you, an accident, an attack, even a choice to reset yourself, your consciousness could be restored from this backup. It's strange to think about sometimes that there could be multiple copies of you. In fact, you know there are several. An older version of you, reset 1,000 years ago, living a different life on a distant colony. A very early version of you, centuries old, preserved in a museum as a historical artifact. None of them are quite you. You're the primary instance, the original line. But they're not exactly other people either. They're all you, in a way. You lie in bed, your pet sleeping beside you, and think about the day. You think about how strange and wonderful it all is. You think about the technology that lets you experience the universe in ways that would have seemed like magic to people 10,000 years ago. You think about how humanity has become something new while remaining fundamentally human. You think about love, connection, meaning, mortality, and choice. Outside your window, the city glows softly with bioluminescence. The tech plants pulse gently with data. The fungal networks below pulse with processing. The civilization sleeps and dreams, vast and ancient and young, all at once. You close your eyes. Hatsune, dreams in the network. As you sleep, something interesting happens. Your consciousness, already partially merged with the fungal network through your neural implants, drifts deeper into the shared dream space that exists there. It's not exactly dreaming, it's more like your individual consciousness expanding to touch other consciousnesses, to experience shared visions. You dream of Mars because your partner's presence is still with you. You dream of forests growing on a dead world. You dream of a future so distant that even you, with your extended lifespan, will only see the beginning of it. You dream of your grandmother, at the moment in her life when she first received life extension, the shock of learning that death might not be inevitable, the strange fear mixed with joy. You dream of the first humans to merge with the fungal network, the pioneers who accepted the risk of technology integrated directly into their neurology. You dream of the first people to upload their consciousnesses to digital form. You dream of the first uplifted species, animals becoming aware, becoming people. You dream of farther futures. You dream of humans spreading to other star systems. You dream of meeting aliens. You dream of consciousness so transformed that the concept of human becomes almost meaningless. And you dream of gentler things too. You dream of love, of creating beauty, of small moments of connection, of your pet's contentment, of walking through a living city, of the simple pleasure of food grown perfectly for you, of knowing that hunger and disease and unwanted death are problems that have been solved. These dreams flow through the fungal network, and other consciousnesses touch them, learn from them, are inspired by them. Your subconscious conversations with millions of other sleeping minds, shared dreaming as a form of collective meaning-making. A new day beginning. As morning comes again, another cycle, another day in your long life, you wake to the gentle brightening of the bioluminescent moss. Your plant companion is already awake, flowers blooming in greeting. Your pet stretches and yawns, ready for the new day. You lie in bed for a moment, letting yourself transition from the dream space back to individual consciousness. You think about the dreams, already fading, but leaving an impression of connection and vast possibility. You think about time. You think about how, with centuries or thousands of years ahead of you, nothing is urgent. You have time to learn, time to try, time to fail and try again, time to love, time to rest, time to grow. And you think about mortality too, because even in this era, it's still possible, still real. Your consciousness could be destroyed. You could choose to end. Some of the people you know will choose this eventually. And that's okay. The choice to continue must mean something, and it only means something if ending is possible. You get out of bed slowly. The day is waiting. There's art to create. There's time to spend with your pet. There's a garden to tend. There's a partner on Mars thinking of you. There's a grandmother across the solar system with 3,000 years of stories. There's a civilization to be part of. There's beauty to appreciate. There's mystery to explore. You step toward the window, and the city is waiting, glowing softly in the morning light, living and growing, building and creating, becoming something new while remaining itself. The future is vast and strange and beautiful, and you have time to experience it all,